Okay, today's topic will be on global e-business and collaboration. Yeah, chapter 2. As you can see, it is chapter 2 under MIS, and it's going to be global e-business and collaboration. Again, it is a long chapter. Like what I said earlier, I not be able to go through all the slides, but I will try my best to cover all. And then we have a second session where we can do discussion, coaching, and open discussion. So what are the learning objectives for this chapter? Define and describe business processes and their relationship to IS system, to information system. That is the very first objective. The second objective is we're going to evaluate all the role played by the system in serving various levels of management in a business, and also we're going to look at their relationship to each other. The role in MIS in terms of the management team and the relationship to each others. The next learning objective is I'm going to explain how enterprises, enterprise includes its application, improve organizational performance. So mainly we're going to look at various applications today, various enterprise-based application, not personal or individual or medium scale, but enterprise meaning large system, large businesses, and what are the applications they are using it in order to improve organizational performance. So over here we will cover systems such as e-commerce, e-business, and so on. Okay, it is if there is any lost connection or interruption, I hope it will not happen today, but if it happens, please reconnect or please join again. Due to the weather, it is raining here, it's quite heavy, and if there is any unwanted or unexpected noise, I'm very sorry for that. As I told you guys last week, I'm picking up this call from a non-commercial areas. I hope you understand. It is a heavy rain due to the weather. Okay, let me continue with the learning objective. I'm also going to share today with all of you the importance of collaboration. We're going to focus on collaboration and teamwork in business and how they are supported by the technology, information technology. So our focus here will be how important is the collaboration and teamwork in business, and how this collaboration and teamwork are being supported by the IT technology. Next, we're going to look at the role of the information system function in a business. Alright, with that, there is one small case study here. I'm not going to go through this with you. You can go through it during your self-study sessions, and if there is any help needed, we can always discuss about this. The problem is need to capture employee knowledge, as 40% of the workforce nears retirement, and then what are the solutions and what are the options available in order to tackle this issue. So please go through it on your own. If you need any help, let me know. Otherwise I leave it to you to wonder and to think about it. Let me continue with business processes. As what we have covered last week, we're going to look at some of the flow of materials related to that particular business, information, and what are the knowledge related to this business processes. Next, we're going to look at some set of activities and steps involved in that business processes. It can be any industry, it can be any businesses. There is no restriction. As I keep on saying, IT is everywhere. IT is is involved, or you need to get involved in every industry, in every area. So there will be a set of activities that we need to look at. What are the steps in order to carry out that businesses? And also we may tie it up to functional area or cross-functional areas in order to understand the business processes better. Businesses can be seen as a collection of business processes. So I used to highlight or focus in this subject or in this area, that is, there is a what we call 4P: processes, product, people, paradigm, promotion, place. Either we call it 4P or 6P, which are very critical for any businesses. As all of you are aware, over here we are talking about processes. Next to processes, or very much closely related to processes, are people, including products, including services provided by the company, including place, location of the business, including promotion, campaign, what initiative are we taking to promote. So such P's, or we call it 4P's or 6P's, also will be covered, in some part of these lectures, so that we are really clear. This is not only IT. I think generally any businesses will involve all these 4P's to 6P's, and also we will look into some asset or liabilities for the businesses. Stop me if I'm going too fast. Reason, I have many slides to cover, but at the same time, I really hope that you understand and you're following with me, you are with me, because this is it's all about businesses, but from the aspect of information system, management information system. So I hope you really can follow, and if you need any help, please stop me. I'll slow down and elaborate further. Okay, examples of functional business processes. We can look into some areas. Of course, the area is too wide. We can look into manufacturing and production. That's where my background is. And what manufacturing and production are involved is mainly on what we call assembling the product, manufacturing of product. We can also look at sales and marketing. What are the examples of functional business processes involved in sales and marketing? We also can look into finance and accounting, where maybe most of you are involved, most of you are familiar with. Of course, we can also look into medical areas if anyone interested. And also we can look into general areas like human resources, which involve hiring of employees. What we see in the next slide is actually what we call global e-business and collaboration. And they have given us only one example of what we call the order fulfillment process, which I believe all of you are very familiar with. Very familiar with. It doesn't matter which industry or business it involves, but more or less it is the same. It is the same for every global e-business and collaboration, where there will be a sales team, there will be an accounting team, there will be a manufacturing and production team. As you can see. So the sales team, they will bring in business, which we call, where they generate orders. They generate orders, and then they will submit the orders. Over here, everything is happening over online, because it is a global e-business. And once the order is being submitted, the accounting team will look into the accounting part or the finance part of it, such as check credit, approve the credit, generate invoice, and so on. And once this credit has been approved by the accounting team. What's going to happen next is the manufacturing and production team will be informed, will be noticed that there is an order, and they will be given the order details, required order details for them to start manufacturing or assemble the product. It's again very much quite subjective to discuss. Reason, some manufacturing and production, they start assembling based on order approved or credit approved. Some they might have produced some products and they keep it in the stock based on or to support the demand. So it's very much depending on the nature of the business. But in general, for your information, the order fulfillment process, as far as the global e-business is concerned, this is a very high level, general or very generalized kind of order fulfillment process. Yeah, and then once the product is available, the product will be shipped to the customer. So that's how it is. Yeah. So what we are looking at here is how information technology or MIS system enhances the business processes. How the MIS system, the information technology, are being used in increasing the efficiency of the existing processes. Of course, we did discuss only a few existing processes. In fact, there are many. It can be very complicated as well. So, in my experience, what we use IT is for to automate. Yeah, we use IT technology and IT skills and people to automate steps that were manual. So basically we are doing automation. Yeah, automating every single step if possible, so that it can be done automatically by the system or even by the machine, for example, by the robots, in other words, which is happening nowadays in very high volume production due to many reasons. Yeah, due to many reasons. We are not going to discuss about those reasons, but it's good to know mainly IT system is being used to automate or for automation. So what is happening here is actually we are enabling the entirely new processes from the manual process into the automation process. Like if we look into 10 years or 5 years ago, there were many activities or many businesses were still conducted manually, physically, face to face, and so on. After the pandemic, which lasted 1 or 2 years or even longer in some countries, many processes, many businesses have transformed or shifted into completely online. Yeah, completely online, or what we call e-businesses. This is where the IT was playing a very important role, especially businesses which are very much related to e-commerce. Yeah, e-commerce. It changed the flow of the information for the entire business processes. The IT system also replaced some sequential step with parallel step. What it means, from you do one by one manually or maybe sequentially, now you can do it in multitasking, parallel. In many steps can be done together. Reason, the systems are involved, or robots are involved, or even what we call machines are involved. So many steps can be done together at the same time in parallel mode, which directly or indirectly is going to improve the production, shorter the time to market, time to produce, time to make the product available for the customers, because that is very important in today's market as far as business are concerned. Also eliminate delays in decision making. So we also will look into some enterprise application later. Once we cover that part, how MIS system can be used to eliminate delays in decision making. Reason when we use what we call manual system, uh, there will be delays due to human being. There will be delays due to many factors, and all that can be overcome. I'm not saying completely can be wiped out or completely can be overcome, but definitely it eliminates and it helps in decision making process. It cut down many steps so that it makes things move faster and better. And definitely with MIS system, as we all aware of, support new business model. Next, what we're going to look at is what we're going to call TPS, Transaction Processing System. In short form, we're going to call it as a TPS, Transaction Processing System. This is very important. This is the detailed part of the business processes, which will serve operational managers and staff. So this is very important and critical details and information, useful information for the people on the floor, or we call them operational managers and staff, where they need to perform and record daily routine transaction, necessary conduct business. Some of the examples like that we have seen earlier: sales order entry. Whenever there is an order, we consider that one transaction. Payroll, another transaction. Shipping, another transaction. So there will be hundreds or thousands of transactions in a daily basis, and all these transactions need to be recorded properly. So we used to do this all manually or writing down on a paper, books and so on. But now what we are doing is, of course, we are doing it over online, especially when it comes to e-businesses or e-commerce. Everything is being recorded. And not only that, immediately you will be notified. All the important people, related people will be notified with SMS or even with email or even with some kind of messages. All that is happening because of the automation that has taken place for that system, for that particular system. So this TPS, Transaction Processing System, also allows managers to monitor status of operation and relation with external environment. So it allows these operational managers and involved or related staff to monitor the status on real-time basis, of their detailed operation and relation with external environment. What is external environment? With customers, with suppliers, with logistic department, if you are using third party delivery or logistic, and so on, including other department, maybe IT if it is outsourced, or some support department, support people. So it put all together so that everybody is aware, everybody is being noticed what is happening. So that's the reason why the transaction processing system, or in short form TPS, plays a very important role in MIS system in making the business successful and moving further. So this TPS system also serves as a predefined structured goals and help in decision making. Okay guys, if anyone has any question, please stop me. Otherwise, I'm going to continue with my flow and we will take a short break later. Okay, there is an example of TPS system on this particular slide for payroll processing. For payroll processing. The reason why payroll processing, I think everyone is very familiar with this processing system, this payroll system, so we understand how it works. As you can see, the employee data comes in and then we have employee file or databases need to be accessed on real-time basis or on online basis, and then with all the details, the payroll will be processed, and there will be some output being generated. Will be generated, such as the management report, any report to the government agencies, any feedback to the employee paychecks, and so on. So this is an example of very high level of TPS transaction. Of course, in details, we can look into more in depth what are the details that traveling within the system. So an example of TPS system also can be considered payroll as one of it. Payroll as one of it. And there are many other examples that we can discuss for the TPS system. Any system that you name it, it involves transaction system. Either it is online, e-commerce, e-global, or even manual system. There is a TPS system, but just a matter of how you perform or how you carrying it out, it will be completely manual. But we are focusing more on to e-global, so the TPS system or all our transaction will be completely electronically done. Okay, in this slide, what we are looking at is what we call business intelligence. Business intelligence. As we are aware, in today's world, the business getting smarter, or the business is actually facing a lot of challenges where it helps. It definitely needs help in order to automate further, in order to customize further. With the huge amount of data that we are receiving on daily basis, on hourly basis, and so on, we have a huge amount of data that need to be processed. So data need to be processed as fast as possible. So definitely we need software tools, very sophisticated, reliable software tools for organizing and for analyzing data. For organizing and analyzing data. And these business intelligence features that is becoming common, and it is like a must in today's business, used to help managers and users make improved decision. And okay, before continue, let me just check on the if there is any student asking for any questions. Let me see. Okay, good. I received your email. I will mail it to you. Just drop your email here. In fact, I have all your email. Otherwise, just drop your email here and I will send to you. One very particular features which is very much related to what we call business intelligence is what is known as artificial intelligence, AI. I'm very sure all of you are very familiar. I've heard this many times and have used this in your businesses, or have seen yourself in many products that they are bringing in or they are building in more AI features. The reason is very simple, like what we discussed earlier, to help the management to make better decisions, and also to help the businesses to perform better. To perform better means to make more profit, to obtain more customers, to survive for a longer period, and so on. So we need many of those features which are very much related to business intelligence in order to achieve that goal. Besides AI, The other information that I can share with all of you is also what we call big data. Big data or what we call big data analytic is another area where, with the huge amount of data that we have today in most of the businesses, doesn't matter whether it is medical related, production related, or engineering related, we have a huge amount of data that need to be processed as fast as possible. And of course, there are various steps involved in doing or in achieving that. When you say data when it is in a raw format, it is what we call with lot of dirty data, not clean. We call it not clean. So the data need to be organized. The data need to be clean, so that when we analyze the data, we will get a useful, meaningful data, not only dirty data. So business intelligence is one of the features that you will see more and more being adapted into the business today. With that, we're going to call that business as a business intelligence system or AI billing system. Like what I mentioned earlier, definitely is part of the MIS system. It helps the management and the team and everyone involved in that business in making better decisions, as well as in supporting the system or the business better. There is another case study here which I will run through with you shortly. This is about, can airlines solve their baggage handling problem? Alright, this is a big question here. For those who are or what we call frequent flyers or used to fly from one country to the other country, either domestic or international, you will see that sometimes you run into these problems. And you wonder how these airlines solve their baggage handling problems, because they are dealing with thousands of luggage or luggages in a day. So the system that they have is actually quite a complicated, highly automated system. And definitely we don't want any delay. Worst case, we don't want any loss of baggage. That's the nightmare that we don't want to go through, right? So the question here are, what types of transactions are handheld or handled by baggage handling system? So what types of TPS, transaction processing system, are handled by baggage handling system? What are the management, organization, and technology component of baggage handling system? What is the problem these baggage handling systems are trying to solve? Discuss the business impact of this problem. Are today's baggage handling system a solution to this problem? What kind of management reports can be generated from data from this system? So they have a series of questions that we can discuss, or we can go through it maybe later in the second part of the lectures, if any one of you interested. But answers to these questions, I think maybe most of us are quite familiar with. And if you are not familiar, either you can ask me, or we can discuss in the second part of the lectures today during the discussion session. So with that, I'm going to skip this slide for now, and I will come back to this slide later in the second session of the lectures. We're going to continue with the MIS system as we have covered last week, where we have looked at who are the people in the MIS system. Similar to any other business, we have top level management or higher level management, middle level management, lower level management, and so on. So this MIS system mostly will be serving the middle management system. That is very important to know. MIS system mostly will be serving the middle management, meaning the managers, operational managers, line managers, whoever in the middle management. Not very much for the top management. Reason top management normally they will have a very specific base or related kind of system, which I will discuss later, which I will share with you guys later. One example is like decision support system. That specifically will be used or will support the top management or higher level management. Expert system will support the top level or higher level management for making high level strategies, high level decision, critical decision, and so on. But generally, MIS system covers most to the middle management people, and the lower management or the users are just the users of the system. They just use it as part of the users, not very critical for them. But for the middle management, yes, it is very important, because the middle management will not be able to do their job or their responsibilities on daily basis without the IT system. Also, this MIS system helps in providing reports on any businesses or firms on current performance based on data from the transaction processing system, based on the TPS. So we will receive various reports, not only one or two. You can actually customize it, request for it. The IT system will prepare all this report based on the data from the TPS system. Provide answers to routine questions with predefined procedure for answering them. Some system that you will see later, such as support system, decision making system, help desk system, very specific medical related or payroll related, will provide solution, available or ready solution to some routine question. And just to share with you guys, nowadays any websites or web pages or even any application, either it is a mobile application or tablet application, you see the moment you launch or the moment you log in, there will be what we call a chat. A chat pops up. It is actually a robot behave or playing the role of a human being in providing answers to the routine question. What we call chatbot. This is becoming a common, and you will see more. Also, MIS system have not too heavy, but to certain level of what we call analytical capability, which required for the management to do some analysis work. All right, just give me a minute. Let me check again with the meeting if there is any questions. Okay, so far no. So let me continue. Let me continue another 1 or 2 slides before we take a short break. Okay, what you see here is how MIS obtain their data from the organization TPS. Slightly cloudy, much detail, but let me go through it. It's not that complicated or difficult to understand. So on your left hand side, what you have is the TPS system, transaction processing system, where order files is available in the format of form of database. Then we have a production master file also in the form of a database. Then you have a accounting file in the form of database as well. So all these databases will be accessed online or real time. It depends on the transaction processing mode. for the purpose of order processing, material resource planning, as well as in order to generate the ledger system. So all these are online databases where the system needs to access in order to generate output. Yeah. So and then within the IT system, we have what we call MIS files. As you can see in the middle, there are sales data, unit product cost data, product change data, expense data. So this is a huge amount of data. Just imagine if it is a manufacturing factory and if they are producing, for example, let's say 1 million product in a month or in a day. There are companies producing 1 million product in a day, 30 million product in a month or even more. So there is a huge amount of data that the MIS system need to handle. So that's where the transaction processing system plays a very important role, critical role in generating the output, in generating all the reports, so that the reports will be available online. And the term that which is very popular now, what we call is dashboard. So every organization, every IT company or the IT team will generate dashboard for the managers, for the middle management to view all the data. And again, how we're going to design this is very much depending on either you're going to design it with the pull technology or with the push technology. What are the differences between pull and push? Pull is you request for it based on demand. It's like internet. You go and search for the information, you pull it out. That's what we call pull. Push is where we can automate the system. The system will automatically generate some reports or some information or some what we call dashboard, and then it will be pushed out to you ever ready on a real-time basis. It's like a news coming out from your dashboard or from your desktop. Breaking news, that is like, for example, it's being pushed out without you requesting for it. So we have all these facilities available within the IT system, for the managers as well as for the top level managers to view. An example of the report is what you can see on your slide. I think this is not new for you. I'm very sure you have seen much more complicated report. So just an example, Okay, what I'm going to do next, before I'm going to discuss all kind of types of information system in the next couple of slides, I need to go slightly slow because there are various types of system. You need to understand them one by one. We take a short break, 10 minutes break, and then we come back 5 minutes before 8 local time, or take a 10 minutes break, and then I'll continue from here. Okay, so let me check if there is any question.